Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Manchester United wins their opening game of the season 1-0 against Fulham, and dare I say it myself, Joshua Zirkzee coming on from the bench, being like a baby-faced assassin. We know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was that player, but Zirkzee coming on as an assassin, scoring a winner on his debut. We'll speak about that, and of course, we'll speak about Nasser Mazraoui, who was my man of the match. And in this particular game, we certainly did have a very good performance. And a lot of people will look at us missing chances. They would look at certain moments where Fulham did break through our press, but it is the first game of the season. Ten Hag did say that the team is not 100% ready for the season, but what can you do? We opened up the Premier League season and we certainly had a very good performance, in my opinion. I think that Ten Hag definitely did have his tactics right, and you could see just exactly what we were trying to do with and without the ball. We had very good moments of possession. We played some excellent football, similar to what we did in the Community Shield against City, and there was some very good individual performance, which all in all, overall, gave a good team performance and a very good foundation for us to build on for the rest of the season. I think Onana had a decent game. At left back, you had Diogo Dalot. Not his best game, in my opinion, but certainly, done what he done and was quite consistent in his performance. And you look at the centre back position, Maguire had a solid game. A moment where we thought we were going to be countered and Fulham could have potentially scored. He made a very good interception on a 2-on-1 where he was the only defender, last man back, and he had a very good performance, in my opinion, a solid one at that. So I think Maguire is right now a very good backup, because obviously you would expect De Ligt to be partnering Martinez as the season goes on, as De Ligt gets his match fitness up to speed. And of course, right back, my man of the match was Nasser Mazraoui. What an excellent performance. Not a bad decision was ever made. On the ball, he was excellent, trying to play out from the back and moving forward while carrying it as well. Very good dribbling ability. And of course, finding solutions, like Ten Hag said in his press conference, in between the lines of the Fulham defenses. And we saw just exactly what we did not expect, but also expected from a player of Mazraoui's quality. There were moments where it looked like he was cornered, did not have any place to go, but he certainly moves his body quite well and plays the correct pass at the correct time. At few times it was one-touch passing. Certain times he played a 1-2 and went into the space again. And there were moments where he certainly knew to keep the ball and push on and dribble with it, thus creating opportunities and spaces for other players, with the likes of Bruno, Mount, Mainu, etc., all showing exactly what can happen when he does give us opportunities in those spaces. So, man of the match was Mazraoui for me. And of course, Martinez had a bit of a scare with the Adama Traore moment, but he showed immediately after that he learned, pushed him out of the way, showed a bit of strength and vigor. That is the Martinez, that is the butcher that we know. And if you look at the team going forward, Bruno had an okay game, but again created quite a lot of chances. So I think he will definitely improve as the season goes on. There's no doubts about Bruno's quality and what he does bring to our team. Of course, Mason Mount, I think, had a good game as well, pressing quite well with Bruno and Rashford and Ahmad up front. And of course, we were very good in control of the ball in that first half while Mason Mount was on the pitch, because of how he presses, his energy that he shows, and the way he links up the attack and the defense, finding those spaces and laying off those passes that allows us to play through the likes of Fulham and, of course, more opponents as the season goes on. When he did come off, there was a bit of change with regards to us controlling the game, because McTominay doesn't allow us to actually keep possession of the ball like we would want to. So basically, we weren't as in control of the game, but we still fairly created quite a few chances, especially with an electrifying Garnacho coming off from the bench. Yes, Ahmad started the game, showing his quality, holding onto the ball, beating his man, trying to, create that moments of quality in order to find a goal for us. But Garnacho came on and again showed why he is much better as a bench option than a starting option. So he has to still make that step up from being an out-and-out bench option, in my opinion, into a starting option, because of course he has Ahmad on the right-hand side that he has to compete with. And yes, a lot of people might say that Garnacho is better on the right-hand side, but I do prefer him on the left, and I think he's much more better as a left winger, of course. And competing with Rashford is what he needs to do. That is the level that he needs to get to and, of course, beat. And Rashford himself had a good game, not his best game in my opinion, but had a fairly good game, showed moments where he worked and tracked back, defending, and of course, showing that he does work hard off the ball, and he needs to do that. His attitude was in question last season, so this is more of a make or break season for Rashford, and of course, Garnacho is waiting in the wings to replace him and can replace him. It's obvious Garnacho could easily start against Brighton, over the weekend on the left-hand side and Ahmad on the right-hand side, or vice versa, so we definitely have to be mindful of the fact that Garnacho is young, is still in development, and can make those moves potentially to become a starting winger for Manchester United as a regular player. And of course, Xerxes, I want to speak about him just lastly. When he came on, you could see that he's not going to be an out-and-out striker, but his link-up play, the way he finds spaces in between the lines that Fulham were trying to create in order to defend against us, he found the ball, he linked up the play with Bruno. There were moments where he held onto the ball quite well, and he started off his own goal and finished it. If you watch the entire goal backwards, he gets the ball in midfield from Bruno, plays it back, and the ball moves all its way onto the side, and it comes in from Casemiro to Garnacho, and Garnacho plays it, and he finds the ball, and he literally puts a deft touch onto it, into a position where the keeper cannot get it, and he scores on his debut. And you think to yourself, he might not be a goal scorer, a prolific one at that, based on his history at Bologna and of course Bayern Munich before that, but he certainly has the potential to become one. Of course, with Ruud van Nistelrooy being the mentor, it can definitely be a benefit to him and of course to Højlund when he does come back into training and does show his fitness again and start for Manchester United. Xerxes showed exactly why he's a much different option than Højlund and will provide us with a much more better way to have possession of the ball higher up the pitch rather than a Højlund who wants to turn, roll his man and run into space in behind and stretch defenses. So there might be games where both of them play together in order for us to get the goal when we're chasing it or when we just want to be more on the attack for a team that will sit quite deep, trying to defend and keep a clean sheet against us, whether away from home or, of course, at Old Trafford. So Xerxes versus Højlund should not be an option. It shouldn't be a case of, oh, Højlund is better than Xerxes or Xerxes is better than Højlund. They are both Manchester United strikers with different striking qualities and definitely can play on the same pitch at the same time for Manchester United, but can also play on their own and provide Manchester United and Erik ten Hag and the team with different options in the way we want to play and the way we want to progress the ball and, of course, score and win. So all in all, I think it was a very good performance by us, a good performance to start with, all good vibes, as they say. We were top of the log for only a few hours, but we find ourselves up there and we need to be consistent in winning games, especially against the likes of Fulham. And we have Brighton next, a team that we have not done well against in recent seasons, but this needs to be a change now. There needs to be a bit of a turning point with the way we play against the likes of Brighton. We certainly need to be winning these games, whether at home or away from home. And of course, away from home, it is much more difficult. But we are Manchester United and we need to show a much more different attitude this season if we want to be one of the teams that finish in the top four and get Champions League and, of course, maybe win a trophy. But the Premier League season has started and we have lots to look forward to as the season progresses. We will be speaking a lot more about transfers in another video when transfer news does arrive, of course. But our next game is Brighton and we will definitely do a preview for that. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. I definitely do appreciate and love the support that you give the channel. And thank you for those who do watch the videos all the way until the end. Have a wonderful day and week further. Till we see each other again, Red Devils. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.